Hello my dear friends, we now begin with a new chapter, and the title of that particular chapter is nothing but Elements of Groups 16, 17 and 18. Okay, this is the chapter title, Elements of Groups 16, 17 and 18. Alright, so now I first of all begin with the introductory session, just an introduction about what exactly this chapter is all about. दोस्तों आप जानते हो कि जहाँ तक elements का सवाल है in the periodic table, they are classified into 4 categories and they are also being assigned particular groups. Groups का मतलब होता है the arrangement is going to be from top to bottom in a periodic table. तो उसके हिसाब से when we start with the first one, that is the S block elements, the groups are going to be 1 and 2. जितना कैपेसिटी होता है एक पर्टिकुलर ऑर्बिटल का उतना उसका ग्रुप्स होगा. ओके, वो याद रखिएगा. ओके, नेक्स्ट वन इज P block. Now what happens in P block is the capacity is 6. So as a result of which it goes from 13 to 18. Now you will ask, बीच वाला किधर गया? बीच वाला D block है, इसलिए तो उसको transition elements भी बोला जाता है. It is in between, okay, S as well as P. Okay, so I can show it this way also, so you understand this by this means of an arrow. Okay, between S and P are what? D, and that is going to be nothing but 3 to 12. Okay, these are the groups. And the F block is a part of D block elements. Alright, so it doesn't have a separate group as such. So group ऐसे ही है, total 18 groups are there, and this is how the classification is being done. अब देखो 16, 17 and 18. This is what the title of this particular chapter. So if you're trying to compare it with this, so it's very clear that 16, 17 and 18 comes under what? P block elements. Okay, ये क्या है? P block elements है. और दोस्तों P block elements का definition is what? कि when the last electron enters into the p orbital. Okay, whenever the last electron enters into the p orbital, that particular element is called as a P block element. Okay, and they are belonging to group numbers 13 to 18 because the capacity of p orbital is 6. So 13 to 18 comes out to be what? 6. लेकिन when it comes to the particular chapter, that was the syllabus that we are going to consider, and that is with respect to 16, 17 and 18, for the simple reason, and that is 13, 14 and 15 are already being discussed in the previous levels. समझ में आया? Alright? So this is what the introduction is all about, that basically we are talking about P block elements. Okay? And they are being situated on the right hand side of the periodic table. ठीक है? Right. So now we will be considering all the various aspects, okay, with respect to these elements of 16, 17 as well as 18. Alright? So we start with the very first property, and that is called as occurrence. How these elements are going to occur. Okay, so that is what occurrence is all about. So in this case of occurrence, we begin with group number 16. So oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. These are the elements of group 16. Okay? इसमें से जब हम ऑक्सीजन की बात करते हैं, oxygen is going to be around say 20.95%, which is present in air. They are also being present in the form of oxides. Okay, and hence we say that oxygen is going to be one of the most abundant element. Abundant matlab which is going to be existing in higher proportion. Alright, in the atmosphere as well as in the Earth's crust. Okay, so by volume it is being present in this extent 20.95%, और वो Earth's crust में they are going to be combining with metals Okay, metal oxides बनता है. Okay, they are generally solids or solids है, इसलिए they are going to be present in the Earth's crust. Okay, now we talk about sulfur. Sulfur generally are present in the form of sulfates. कुछ एग्जाम्पल देना चाहूंगा आपको मैं, जैसे कि जिप्सम है, उसका फॉर्मूला है CaSO4, फिर है एप्सम सॉल्ट which is nothing but MgSO4 along with 7H2O. Okay, sulfur is also there in the form of sulfides. जैसे कि एग्जाम्पल देता हूं मैं आपको, जिंक ब्लेंड. Okay, that is ZnS. और भी एग्जाम्पल चाहिए तो गैलीना, and that is nothing but PbS. Okay, so basically sulfur exists in this form. Okay, in large proportions, sulfates as well as sulfides. Okay, next one is, when you talk about selenium and tellurium, they are also existing in the form of metal, selenides and tellurides. Selenides and tellurides. इस फॉर्म में वो एग्जिस्ट कर सकता है, मेटल के साथ कंबाइन हो जाता है, और इस तरीके से उसे हम लोग सेलेनाइड और टेलुराइड ऐसा बोलते हैं. और जहां तक लास्ट एलिमेंट है पोलोनियम, इट इज रेडियो एक्टिव. ओके, और आपको मैं जानकारी दूं, इट इज अ डीके प्रोडक्ट. डीके मतलब डिसइंटीग्रेशन ऑफ रेडियो एक्टिव स्पीशीज. सो इट इज अ डिसइंटीग्रेशन और अ डीके प्रोडक्ट of radioactive elements such as uranium and thorium. Okay, तो जब उनका डीके होता है, डिसइंटीग्रेशन होता है, तब जाकर हमें क्या मिलता है? पोलोनियम. एंड पोलोनियम also to a certain extent has got radioactivity. Radio is nothing but it's a short form of radiations, and radiations आप जानते हो, it's a form of energy. और जब मैं active बोलता हूँ तो आप जानते हो अच्छी तरीके से, a person is going to be active when it has got high amount of energy, and when the energy level is going to be high, it's very obvious the stability level is low. और इसीलिए दोस्तों कि जब हम पोलोनियम का स्टेबिलिटी कंपेयर करेंगे विद द एलिमेंट्स, ओके, ऑफ ग्रुप 16, जैसे ऑक्सीजन हुआ, सल्फर हुआ, सेलेनियम, टेलुरियम हुआ, तो उसका स्टेबिलिटी इज लेस. Okay, because of this radioactive nature. Okay, so this was occurrence with respect to group 16. Okay, I hope you have understood this part. All right, now we consider the next group, and that is group number 17. The property is going to be still same, and that is we are going to discuss with respect to what? Occurrence. So the elements are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and acetine. Okay, these are the elements which constitute group 17. Okay, अब जहां तक उसका नाम कराना, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, जब मैंने ग्रुप 16 डिस्कस किया था, they are called as chalcogens. Okay, because they have an ability to form ores producers. ओके, मेटल्स के साथ कंबाइन करके वो ओर्स बना सकता है. ओके, ऑक्साइड, सल्फाइड्स एंड टेलुराइड्स एंड सल्फेट्स एंड ऑल दिस. ग्रुप 17 आर कॉल्ड एज हैलोजेंस. ओके, जेंस मतलब प्रोड्यूसर्स है, या ऐसा यहाँ पर भी जेंस मतलब प्रोड्यूसर, एंड हैलो मतलब सॉल्ट्स. सो वी से दे आर सॉल्ट प्रोड्यूसर्स. ठीक है. नाउ व्हेन यू जस्ट टॉक अबाउट फ्लोरीन, fluorine can be in the form of fluorspar, that is CaF2. We also have cryolite, Na3AlF6. Okay, हमारे पास है फ्लोरापेटाइट, that is 3Ca3PO4 twice along with CaF2. Okay, इसके अलावा they are also being present, fluorine is also being present in the form of bones and teeth of animals. Alright, this is with respect to what? Fluorine. When you talk about chlorine, the very first thing which comes into your mind is what? NaCl. Okay, which is nothing but what? Salt. Okay, that is one of the most common example. We also have in the form of, say, KCl and MgCl2, and along with 6 water molecules, okay, which we also call it as carnallite. Okay, they are also there. Okay, most of the sea water are containing chlorides, bromides, iodides of sodium, potassium, magnesium and calcium. Alright, so these are what the existence are about. When we talk about iodine, basically iodine is present in seaweeds. Okay, the great occurrence of iodine is going to be in seaweeds. Bromine is the only liquid non-metal. Okay, remember this. Okay, bromine is what? The only liquid non-metal. So these are the general occurrence with respect to group number 17. Now we go into group number 18. Group number 18 we have is, the very first element that we have is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Okay, these are the elements. Now, all of them exist in the atmosphere. All exist in the atmosphere except for radon. Okay, write down over here, except what? Radon. When we talk about helium, it's one of the major constituent of natural gas. Next is, all of these normally constitute around 1% of the volume in air. Alright. Next one is, when you talk about basically helium and neon are present in higher proportions. Okay. Xenon and radon, okay, they are the rare elements. Means its existence is in a lower proportion. ये group 18 वाले जो elements है, these all group 18 elements, उनको noble gases बोला जाता है, या फिर we call it as inert gases. The reason is very simple, and that is they exist in the form of gaseous state, and दूसरा कि because they don't have the nature of reacting under normal conditions. Alright, by under extreme conditions they do react. We have compounds of these elements now discovered, but then the conditions are not normal. We have changed the conditions and then these compounds can be formed. The conditions can be in terms of proportion, it can be in terms of temperature, it can be in terms of pressure, etc. etc. Okay, लेकिन under normal conditions all of these are existing as gases and their chemical reactivity is low, और इसलिए उसको noble gases या फिर inert gases ऐसा बोला जाता है. Okay, जब हम radon की बात करते हैं, radon is considered to be radioactive and it is actually a decay product of radium. Okay, it's basically a decay product of what? Radium, जिसका atomic mass is around 226. Okay, radium is the last element which comes under group 2. और group 2 के elements शायद आप जानते होंगे, and that is called as nothing but what? Yes, alkaline earth metal. तो जब radium decay होगा, okay, radioactive disintegration होगा, so the one of the product that can be obtained is called as what? Radon. Okay, and it is, as I said, जैसे मैंने आपको पोलोनियम के केस में बताया था, the same thing is this is radioactive. Similarly, जब हम group 17 की बात करते हैं तो उसमें जो last element था, that is astatine. Okay, so that is also going to be what? Radioactive. तो आपको इस तरीके से याद रखना है. So you know 16, 17, 18. Okay, all of them are being considered together. So comparison becomes very easy. Alright, so you can put down some common points also. Okay, if you are going to take all the three groups together. Okay, उसमें common point ये आ जाएगा अभी कि with respect to the occurrence part is कि the last element of all these group are going to be radioactive. Okay, polonium of group 16, astatine of group 17, and of course that is radon of group 18. Okay, they are considered to be what? Radioactive elements, and hence their stability as compared to the previous elements of the same group is going to be what? Less. And therefore its existence, its occurrence, okay, will be also to a lesser proportion. आई बात समझ में? So I guess with respect to occurrence of 16, 17 as well as 18 आपको ये concept समझ में आ गया.